This lesson's learning competency is compose an informative essay. But before we begin, are you familiar with the following TV shows? Born to be Wild, Aha, Sineskwela, and Matanglawin? What do you think students can get from these TV shows? Information. Very good. Today, we will be talking about giving out information through essay. Are you ready to learn? Let's start. Essay is a short literary writing that is used to express and interpret the writer's personal understanding and point of view of a certain topic. The learning competency says that we will be writing an informative essay. But what is an informative essay? From the word inform, this essay is used to give information or to educate the readers. Therefore, the essay that you will be writing today must contain helpful information. Writing in general have 5 stages. These are the following: pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. Let's start with pre-writing. Do you know that there are things that we need to consider before we start writing? Yes, there are. These are the following. Number 1, the topic or what we will be talking or discussing. In composing an informative essay, it is very important that the author knows a lot about the topic. That's why it is highly suggested that you talk about the things which you are most interested with. Number 2 is the audience. Who are your target readers? For example, if you will be writing on how to cook spaghetti, then your target audience are more likely women because they are the ones who usually do the cooking. Number 3 is the purpose. What is your purpose in writing? Is it to persuade, to tell a story, or to alter opinions? But since we are writing an informative essay, our purpose for writing this is, of course, to inform. And lastly is the product. What are you going to write? Is it a biography, a research paper, or an academic journal? In our case, we will be writing an essay, an informative essay. Informative essay also has different parts. It is usually composed of 5 paragraphs. The first paragraph is the introduction paragraph. Then, the body paragraph, which is composed of 3 paragraphs. The last one is the conclusion paragraph. So what is the purpose of each part? Introduction. This part plays a very important role. An essay's introduction acquaints readers with a topic to be discussed. This also indicates your focus in the topic and must be able to engage the readers to read on. Body. Body paragraphs contain the main idea or topic sentence making a claim and the supporting details which give examples of the claim and the supporting details in 3 body paragraphs. Conclusion. Conclusion is the last paragraph of your essay. This must be strong enough to bind all the arguments or details you provided in the body. And this part must leave the readers with such a strong and good impression. We will now go to the next stage, which is drafting. In this part, the author will put his ideas into complete thoughts through sentences and paragraphs. In drafting, especially the introduction, we must consider the following. Number 1, the introduction must be catchy or attention grabber. This must awaken the interest of the readers. Number 2 is thesis statement. This is a sentence in your introduction which states facts. Number 3 is opinion of the author. Number 4 and 5, 3 main ideas and 3 sub-ideas. What are these main and sub-ideas that I'm talking about? Writing would be a lot easier if you have an outline, and this one will serve as your outline. First, think of a title that would describe your entire essay. Then think of 3 main ideas that you will be discussing in your essay. Under each main idea, give 3 sub-ideas, like this one that I'll be showing you today. I entitled my essay Malolos, Where History Lives On. The first main idea is how Malolos got its name, followed by historical events which took place in Malolos and famous Maloleños. Under how Malolos got its name, we have origin of the word Malolos, who gave the name Malolos to it, and when did Malolos get its name. Under historical events which took place in Malolos, we have founding of important establishments in Malolos, Malolos as the capital of the Philippines, and the First Philippine Republic. Under famous Maloleños, we have General Isidoro Torres, Nicolas M. Buendia, and Don Antonio Bautista. Let's try drafting our introduction paragraph. As you can see, the first line of our paragraph is indented, and we have margins. This time, let me zoom in our paragraph so you can read it with me. Live a life in the past. Have you been in one of the most historical places in the country? Malolos is indeed a place which contributed a lot in the history of the Philippines. Aside from that, many Filipinos choose to live here because it's just 45 kilometers away from Manila, and some of its barangays still offer non-urban ambience. Furthermore, some people live here because they are fascinated with its history. Some reasons may be about how Malolos got its name, the historical events which took place here, and the famous people of Malolos. Some examples of these reasons are who gave Malolos its name, why is Malolos associated with the Philippines' First Republic, and who is the man with a controversial statue in front of the new Malolos City Hall. Note that when we draft the introduction, we have to consider some things, like number 1, it must be catchy. In order to make it catchy, you need to provide a hook or a sentence that will awaken the interest of the readers. In this case, the hook is the first and the second sentences. The introduction must also have a thesis statement. Remember that thesis statement is the sentence that states facts. In this essay, the thesis statement is Malolos is indeed a place which contributed a lot in the history of the Philippines. You don't have to ask a single person about it. Everyone knows about that. Next is, you may also state your own opinion. In this essay, you can actually see that I stated my own opinion, which is, aside from that, many Filipinos choose to live here because it's just 45 kilometers away from Manila, and some of its barangays still offer non-urban ambience. Furthermore, some people live here because they are fascinated with its history. This will be followed by the 3 main ideas. Can you still remember the 3 main ideas I asked you to provide for your outline? The following are the 3 main ideas. Some reasons may be about how Malolos got its name, the historical events which took place here, and the famous people of Malolos. And lastly, the 3 sub-ideas. And these are the following. Some examples of these reasons are: who gave Malolos its name? Why is Malolos associated with the Philippines' First Republic? And who is the man with a controversial statue in front of the new Malolos City Hall? After the introduction paragraph, we have the body paragraph, which is actually composed of 3 paragraphs. This is the first, the second, and the third paragraph, which actually lasts up until the second page, followed by the conclusion paragraph. As you can see, these have already consumed 2 pages, which is quite long for an essay. After drafting, we now have revising. We do revising to make the composition better, to make it clear, and to make sure that the essay makes a point. You may do the following in revising. Ask yourself, is the idea clearly stated? Delete unnecessary details. Include quotes. Ask yourself, did I make my point? And read your work aloud. Yes, aloud, because in doing so, it would be a lot easier for you to identify your own mistakes. But what do we really do when we revise? Revising is changing the meaning or the way on how the readers perceive and interpret the idea of your sentences. When we revise, you don't necessarily need to shorten the sentence. You can make it a little longer, but you have to make it more interesting. For example, dark places are creepy. Absence of light frightens people. See, the second one sounds a lot better. Revising is a major overhaul because you need to delete unnecessary sentences here. You may change the placement of words or sentences, and you may substitute words or sentences with new ones. After revising, we have editing. But what is the difference of editing from revising? As I've said earlier, in revising, it's like a major overhaul. This is where you will be doing major and big changes to your composition. Let's check editing. Editing deals with minor corrections. You have to check if your sentences are complete. Check your capitalization, your grammar, your punctuations, and your spelling. You see, editing is actually simpler than revising. In editing, you have to reread your work aloud. Yes, you have to read your work again aloud, because as I have said earlier, when you do that, it would be a lot easier for you to recognize your mistakes. But there are really some mistakes in your own works that would be a little hard for you to recognize, since that is your own work, so you must ask someone to read it for you afterwards. Yes, that is a must. After editing, we are now on the last stage, which is publishing. But what do we do when we publish? These are the things we do in publishing. Of course, you have to rewrite your work. It could be handwritten or typewritten. And then publish it or simply submit it to your teacher. The one that you can see now is my final output. Again, it is entitled Malolos, Where History Lives On. And as you can see, it's less than a page now, including the introduction. So we have the introduction, the 3 body paragraphs, and the conclusion paragraph. Let me zoom my essay again so you can read it with me. Malolos, where history lives on. Live a life in the past. Have you been in one of the most historical places in the country? Malolos is indeed a place which contributed a lot in the history of the Philippines. Aside from that, many Filipinos choose to live here because it's just 45 kilometers away from Manila, and some of its barangays still offer non-urban ambience. Furthermore, some people live here because they are fascinated with its history. Some reasons may be about how Malolos got its name, the historical events which took place here, and the famous people of Malolos. Some examples of these reasons are: who gave Malolos its name, why is Malolos associated with the Philippines' first republic, and who is the man with a controversial statue in front of the new Malolos City Hall. To start with, the name Malolos is due to misunderstanding between Spaniards and the early Filipino natives. When the Spanish priests looked around for some inhabited places in the 16th century, they came across with some fishermen of a barangay now called Canalate. The said fishermen were not familiar with the language the priests were using, so instead of giving the name of the place, they were told by the villagers that the river going to Kalumpit is Paluslos. Due to corruption of word, the place was then started to be called, and now known as, Malolos. As time goes on, the early Filipinos find the place an ideal one for business because of the Chinese-Filipino traders who sell their textiles and rice in Malolos. Moreover, when Manila Dagupan Railway is opened in 1892. In 1898, Universidad Científico-Literaria Filipinas, the first military school in the Philippines, was founded together with the first law school, which is the Burgos Institute. In the same year, Malolos Congress opened in Baraswain Church for the drafting of the first constitution, which gave birth to the 1899 First Philippine Republic, which is commemorated every year by every Filipinos, especially of the Maloleños. The Maloleños now and then maintained their respect and fascination for their town. One of them was Isidoro Torres, who founded the Sangguniang Lalawigang Balangay Apoy, the local chapter of KKK in Bulacan. Due to his dedication in protecting the town, several statues of him can be seen in Malolos up to this date. The latest can be found in front of the new Malolos City Hall. On the other hand, he also had many supporters. One of them was Nicolas M. Buendia, who led a 6,000 marching army during the inauguration of the First Philippine Republic. Buendia also served as the first president of Malolos, governor of Bulacan, and as a senator. The former Buendia Avenue in Makati was named after him. Not only Buendia supported Isidoro Torres, there were lots of Maloleños who joined his cause. One of them was Malolos' famous and rich Don Antonio Bautista, whose life has been depicted in the 2019 Cinelixic Best Documentary film, El Heroe Verdadero, Don Antonio Bautista. He served as the judge of Balangay Apoy and became its loyal member. He was the one who bought the tools that the Katipuneros used during the revolution in Tirad Pass. He also donated a large portion of his land to the government. This land is now the capital compound where Bulacan Medical Center, Bulacan State University, Baraswain Memorial Integrated School, and many other important buildings are located. His contributions to Malolos truly made him a remarkable Maloleño. In conclusion, Malolos is one of those many towns in the Philippines which was first discovered, influenced, and inhabited by the Spaniards. Malolos is indeed a town with so much story to tell about the past. It once became the center of civilization, and its locals welcomed and adopted the changes brought by the colonizing countries, but never surrendered their freedom. And we are now finally done with our discussion. And to test if you really learned something from our discussion today, let's have a very simple activity which I named Easy Essay. All you need to do is to unscramble the letters to reveal what word is defined in each number. Good luck! It is a short literary writing that is used to express and interpret the writer's personal understanding and point of view of a certain topic. What is your answer? Essay is correct. Essay which is used to give information or to educate the readers. What is your answer? Informative essay is very good. The first stage of the writing process. Pre-writing is correct. Second stage of writing process wherein the writer puts his ideas into complete thoughts. Drafting is correct. The stage wherein the author looks again and improves his composition. Revising is very good. The stage wherein the author performs minor corrections in punctuations, spelling, and grammar. Editing is correct. Job well done, grade 7. You are now ready for your next task. Your main task for today is, yes, you will be writing an informative essay. Few things to consider when choosing a topic. Think of a thing you love doing the most. From there, you may think of any information that you think would be useful for many. It could be how to play Mobile Legends or how social media affects students positively. If you want a more comprehensive topic, you may try writing the cause and effect of air or water pollution, how to lose weight, how to develop good study habits, or anything that you like discussing with others. Don't forget the stages of writing process. Again, they are pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. Good luck, grade 7. Happy writing!